All right, diving into the world of logo design today,
Uh-huh.
looks like you are ready to launch your own business,
Yeah.
and you've gathered some pretty good resources
Mm-hmm.
to kind of guide you through the process.
That's right.
We've got a step-by-step guide, tips on taglines, color
Yeah.
theory, even some contract essentials.
Oh, wow. That's great.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting stuff.
Yeah.
And I have to admit, I'm really intrigued by one little detail I spotted.
Okay.
Apparently, there are specific colors that can evoke a sense of longing in people.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Imagine harnessing that power for your clients' brands.
Yeah. That's pretty amazing.
Right.
It is amazing what you can achieve when you understand the psychology behind
Yeah.
design. And you're right, this deep dive does have all the ingredients for a successful launch.
Right.
You've covered the practical, the creative,
Yeah.
and the legal side of the business. A really smart approach.
So where do we even begin?
Right.
Well, the guide kind of kicks off with some foundational steps,
Hmm.
like mastering the core principles of design,
Mm.
color theory, typography, things like that.
Yeah.
But then it gets really interesting.
Okay.
It stresses the importance of actively studying successful logos.
Oh, interesting.
Not just looking at them, but really dissecting
Okay.
what makes them work.
That's interesting. Yeah. It's like flexing a muscle you didn't know you had.
Huh?
We are bombarded with logos every day.
Right.
But how often do we stop and think?
Right.
Why does that logo grab my attention?
Right.
Or how does it make me feel about the brand?
Absolutely.
By actively analyzing logos you admire,
Yeah.
you start to understand the strategy behind their design.
It's like that time. You remember when we were walking downtown
Yeah.
and we saw that coffee shop with the sleek minimalist logo?
Yeah. Yeah.
We were instantly drawn in.
Yeah, we were.
That's the power of good design.
Absolutely.
It goes beyond aesthetics, right?
Yeah.
It speaks to something deeper.
I think a really good example of that is the Apple logo.
Oh, yeah.
It's simple, it's elegant. Mm-hmm.
And it's instantly recognizable, but it also
Mhm.
conveys innovation,
Mm.
sophistication,
Right.
and even a touch of playfulness.
With the bite taken out, yeah.
With that bite taken out of the apple, exactly.
Yep.
It's a visual story that resonates with millions of people worldwide.
It does.
And that's what you're aiming for, to create logos that tell a story,
Mm-hmm.
evoke emotions,
Right.
and build trust.
And that brings us to another really crucial element,
Okay.
the tagline.
Oh, yeah.
Your guide has a whole section dedicated to crafting these little gems.
Yes.
It even gives an example, crafting your corporate canvas
Oh, okay.
from this fictional company called Emblematic Essence.
Okay.
Now, it might be fictional,
Right.
but it's a fantastic illustration
Okay.
of how a tagline can do so much heavy lifting.
Yeah.
It summarizes the company's ideals, like they're creative,
Mm-hmm.
they're about the big picture.
Mm-hmm.
It hints at the benefit to the client, a beautifully crafted brand.
And it injects personality. There's kind of an artistic flair to the language.
Yeah,
That's a trifecta you want to aim for
definitely.
when crafting your own taglines.
For sure.
So I have a question for you, dear listener.
Okay.
What feeling do you want your brand to evoke?
Yeah.
Do you want to be seen as cutting edge, innovative,
Mm,
or perhaps reliable and trustworthy?
right.
Your tagline needs to capture that essence.
Absolutely. Yeah. And once you've got that strong tagline
Yeah.
and a clear understanding of your brand,
Mm-hmm.
you're ready to tackle the business side of things, starting with how to negotiate effectively with clients.
Which, let's face it, can be intimidating,
Oh, yeah,
especially when you're starting out.
for sure.
But one of your sources breaks down the art of negotiation
Okay.
into these manageable steps,
Mm,
emphasizing the importance of your value proposition.
yeah. And it basically boils down to this
Okay, yeah.
negotiation is not just about price, but also about the value you provide.
Okay, so think of it this way. You're not just selling a pretty picture.
Right.
You're selling a brand identity,
Exactly.
a visual representation of their entire
Yeah.
business.
Yeah.
That's a powerful tool for their success,
It is.
and it deserves to be valued accordingly.
Absolutely. And speaking of powerful tools,
Yes?
we can't forget about the fascinating world of color psychology.
Oh, color psychology.
Yeah. Your source dives into the emotional impact of different colors,
Mm-hmm.
offering a whole spectrum of possibilities for your logo designs.
I mean, we all know intuitively that color influences how we feel,
Yeah.
but it's incredible to actually see the science behind it.
Yeah,
Like
bro.
how navy blue
Mhm.
often represents trust and stability,
Right.
which is probably why so many banks use it in
Right.
their branding.
Exactly. Huh.
Or how charcoal gray gives that modern,
Mhm.
cutting-edge feel.
Yeah.
You know, Think tech startups,
Yeah.
innovative companies,
Right.
that kind of thing.
Exactly.
And remember that intriguing detail
Yeah.
about a color that evokes longing? It turns out it's soft lilac.
Soft lilac, huh?
Interesting.
Soft lilac.
Who knew? It makes you wonder what kind of brands could leverage that sense of yearning.
Right.
Maybe a travel agency promising exotic adventures,
Ooh.
or a high-end perfume brand aiming to create an air of mystery and desire.
Exactly.
By understanding the subtle messages conveyed by different colors,
Mm-hmm.
you can create logos that resonate with the target audience
Yeah.
on a subconscious level.
Yeah.
It's like having a secret weapon
It is.
in your
Yeah.
design arsenal.
It is.
But before you get too carried away with the creative side of things,
Right.
we need to talk about protecting yourself and your business.
Yes.
And that's where contracts come in.
Contracts 101 for the budding entrepreneur.
Exactly.
I mean, it's not the most glamorous topic, but it's absolutely crucial.
It is.
Luckily, one of your sources provides a fantastic breakdown
Okay.
of the essential elements of a design contract,
Well.
emphasizing the importance of clarity and protection for both you and your client. Yes, and one area that often causes headaches
Oh, I bet.
is revisions and alterations.
Uh-huh.
Every designer has a story about that client
Oh, yeah.
who requested endless tweaks,
Oh, I bet.
pushing the project way beyond its original scope,
Yeah,
right?
totally.
So that's where having a clear contract
Yes.
with a specific section dedicated to revisions and alterations
Mhm.
can save you a lot of stress.
Get everything in writing, folks.
Yes, definitely.
Trust me.
Yes.
It can save you headaches and potentially even friendships.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's all about setting those clear boundaries and
Right.
expectations right from the start.
Absolutely.
A well-crafted contract ensures that everyone's on the same page.
Yeah.
And then you can focus your energy on what you do best, creating amazing logos.
And speaking of amazing logos,
Yes.
your source delves even deeper
Okay.
into this world of color,
Okay.
suggesting specific color palettes
Uh-huh.
for different industries.
Oh, interesting.
This is where it gets really
All right.
strategic.
What's fascinating here is how these palettes
Yeah.
combine established industry practices
Okay.
with the principles of color psychology.
Okay.
For example, restaurants often use warm colors like reds and yellows
Okay.
to stimulate appetite.
Yeah.
Think about those golden arches, right? They're not just a random choice.
Well,
They're
great.
strategically designed to make you crave a burger and fries.
Like a secret code almost.
Yeah.
You're not just choosing colors you personally like. You're tapping into the
Yeah.
subconscious desires
Yeah.
and expectations of potential customers.
Exactly. And while it's great to be aware of these industry standards,
Right.
it's crucial to tailor your color choices
Mhm.
to the specific brand you're working with.
So let's say you're designing a logo for a beverage company.
Okay.
The source recommends using blues and greens, which
Mhm.
evoke those feelings of health and vitality.
Right, right.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
We associate those colors with nature,
Mm.
freshness, and maybe even a hint of thirst-quenching coolness.
Now, imagine you're working with a retail brand
Okay.
that wants to create a sense of excitement and energy.
Okay.
In that case, vibrant oranges and reds might be the way to go.
Yeah.
They're attention-grabbing,
Yeah.
bold,
Okay.
and often associated with sales and discounts.
Right. But a tech company
Mm-hmm.
might choose a combination of blues and greens
Mm-hmm.
to represent innovation and growth,
Right.
while a health and wellness brand might opt for soothing greens and whites
Mm-hmm.
to convey tranquility and purity.
You've hit the nail on the head. It's
Yeah.
all about finding that sweet spot
Right.
where industry norms meet the unique personality and values of the brand.
Absolutely.
You're creating a visual identity that's both strategic and authentic.
So now once you've nailed down the design elements and the color palette,
Yeah.
it's time to dive into the nitty-gritty of the contract.
Yeah, the contract.
It's not the most exciting part
Oh,
of the process, but it's essential for protecting yourself and your client.
absolutely.
And your source provides a comprehensive checklist
Okay.
of everything you need to include.
Clarity and specificity are paramount.
Yeah.
When outlining the project scope, define not just the target audience,
Okay.
but also any specific design requirements the
Right.
client might have.
Mm-hmm.
Think about file formats, logo variations,
Okay.
or even specific elements they want incorporated.
And don't forget about deliverables.
Oh, the deliverables.
Be
Yes.
crystal clear about what the client will receive
Yeah.
upon completion of the project.
Mm-hmm.
Are you providing just the final logo files?
Right.
Or are you also including color palettes, font specifications,
Mm-hmm.
other brand assets?
It's all about managing expectations
Yes.
and avoiding those misunderstandings that can lead to frustration down the road.
And speaking of avoiding misunderstandings,
Yes.
your source also stresses the importance
Okay.
of outlining that project timeline.
Right. Including deadlines for initial drafts, revisions, and final delivery.
This benefits both you and the client.
Absolutely.
It keeps the project on track
Mm-hmm.
and helps to avoid frustrating delays.
Yeah.
No one wants to be chasing deadlines
Right.
or wondering when they'll see the next iteration of their logo.
And of course, we can't forget about pricing and payment terms.
Ah, yes, pricing.
This is often a sensitive topic,
It can be, yeah.
but transparency is key.
Absolutely.
Be upfront about your fees,
Mm-hmm.
payment schedule,
Yep.
and any terms related to late payments
Right.
or additional charges for extra work.
Yeah, it sets a professional tone
It does.
from the outset and helps build trust with your client.
Speaking of transparency,
Yes.
that revisions and alterations section we talked about earlier,
Yes. Yeah.
absolutely a must-have.
You want to be clear about how many rounds of revisions are included in the initial price
Right.
and what the cost will be for any additional changes beyond those.
Yeah.
This prevents scope creep. Yes.
And ensures you're fairly compensated for your time and effort.
Remember that client we talked about earlier?
Mm-hmm.
The one with the never-ending revision requests?
Oh, yeah, I remember.
A clearly defined revision policy
Right?
can prevent those situations from spiraling out of control
For sure.
and turning into a design nightmare.
And let's not forget about intellectual property.
Oh, right, yeah.
Make sure your contract clearly states who owns the copyright to the logo
Okay.
and what usage rights are being transferred to the client upon full payment.
That's so important.
It is.
You've poured your heart and soul
You have
into creating this logo.
Yeah.
You want to make sure you're protected
Mm-hmm.
and that your work is being used appropriately.
Absolutely. And finally,
Yeah.
don't forget to include a cancellation policy
Okay.
and a section on legal jurisdiction and dispute resolution.
Okay.
It's always best to be prepared for any eventuality.
So we've covered a lot of ground here,
We have.
from mastering the fundamentals of design
Yeah.
to navigating the intricacies of contracts.
Yeah.
It's clear that launching a successful logo design business
Mm-hmm.
requires a blend of creativity,
It does.
business savvy, and attention to detail.
But what's truly impressive is how your chosen resources
Right.
provide such a comprehensive roadmap for success.
Yeah.
You've clearly done your research,
Mm-hmm.
and you're well on your way to turning your passion for design
Yeah.
into a thriving business.
But we wouldn't leave you hanging
No.
without a few final nuggets of wisdom.
Yeah, one thing that really resonated with me was the advice on pricing your services.
Oh, yeah?
It's so easy to undervalue your work,
Yeah.
especially when you're starting out
Right.
and eager to land those first clients.
It's a classic dilemma.
It is.
You want to be competitive,
Right.
but you also need to value your time, your skills,
Yeah.
and that unique perspective that you bring to the table.
Exactly. Your source recommends researching industry rates,
Okay.
considering the complexity of the project,
Mhm.
and factoring in things like revisions and usage rights.
Right.
A logo for a small local business will likely command a different price
Yeah.
than a logo for a multinational corporation.
Of course.
Yeah,
Right. It's all about finding that sweet spot
it is.
where you're being fairly compensated for your work
Mm-hmm.
while also remaining attractive to potential clients.
And don't be afraid to offer different pricing options,
Oh, yeah.
like package deals or retainers for ongoing work.
Right.
This can provide more value to clients
Yeah.
and help you secure a steady stream of income.
It's a win-win.
It is.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into the world of logo design,
Okay.
I want to leave you with a final
Okay.
thought-provoking question.
Okay, love a good challenge. Let's hear it.
One that might spark some inspiration as you embark on this exciting journey.
Okay.
If you could choose just one color
Okay.
to represent your brand
Mhm.
as a logo designer,
Yeah.
what would it be and WHY?
Wow, what a fantastic question. It really forces you to think about
Yeah.
your core values, your design aesthetic, and the message you want to convey to potential clients.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, dear listener, take some time to ponder this.
Yeah.
Explore the color palettes that we've discussed.
Mm-hmm.
Consider your target audience
Yeah.
and let your intuition guide you.
Remember, the perfect color for your brand is out there waiting to be discovered.
It is.
And with the knowledge and insights you've gained from this deep dive,
Yes.
you're well equipped to find it
Yes.
and to create a brand that truly reflects your passion and your talent.
So go forth and create.
Yes.
We can't wait to see the amazing logos you'll bring to life.
Happy designing.